And here's the X factor of the game. Can Georgia keep up with Alabama scoring? And if they can do that, then I think Georgia can win this. Hey everybody, it's Justice Noakes here, your favorite YouTuber, the greatest YouTuber in the day. We're going to be discussing the Alabama Georgia game, and let's look and see my predictions on who can win this. I also just wanted to ask y'all to please subscribe. We're getting so close to 2,000 subscribers. It really make me happy. And yeah, let's go. So Alabama or Georgia, two dominant SEC teams going at it in a gigantic battle, in a clash of titans, pretty much. And I know I might sound cringy when I say that, but it's really the truth. And five of the top six teams in the country are SEC teams. You got to think about that. So when I want to say 4 versus number 2 or number 3 in the country going at it, this has major SEC conference championship implications. Might not have college football playoff implications because if no matter what, if one of them loses this and they play good the rest of the season, they go like 10-2, 11-1, they're going to make the college football playoff. But it's still an important game. And I truly believe that, and I think this will be a very exciting game to watch, a very fun game to watch, and I will enjoy watching it. Now, do I think it's going to be a very high scoring game? I don't know. I don't know if it will be a high scoring game, just because both of them have a good defense, but also Alabama has an explosive offense. Georgia doesn't have an explosive offense. They have a really good defense, and it's I don't know. I think I got in my heart. I know this might sound crazy. I know this might sound crazy. What you're picking? You're pick. I'm Y'all are gonna hear it in a second. Y'all probably already know who I'm gonna pick though. From that, I got this team winning by a margin of 3 points only. 3 points. Like it always has been a close game. I'm picking the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now Alabama's at home. I believe they're at home. And they got a better quarterback. They got a better. I want to say they got better. They don't got a better running back. They got better receivers, I believe. And I know that might sound crazy, but because Alabama don't have the greatest receivers ever, they're not bad. They got a 17-year-old cooking out there, like that. That's kind of sick. But I think it's just going to come down to if Jalen Milroe and the Alabama offense are clicking, and if they are, I think it's going to be high scoring game. I don't think Alabama's going to blow them out, of course. Uh, but here's the big X factor of the game. Can Georgia keep up with the Alabama offense? And that's the X factor of the game by far. And you just got to believe that. And I believe that. When you look at the stats, honestly, I feel like Jalen Milroe is just a better overall quarterback. I think he for some reason he's not in the Heisman. He's not in the Heisman race, even though he definitely should be. Has not been playing bad. I know what you're gonna say, but Justice, they struggled with USF. Who cares? When they struggle, they still blow out teams. I'm not an Alabama fan. I'm not an SEC homer. I'm a Notre Dame fan. But that's the point. I don't like either of this team, so I'm just letting it the truth. I'm just telling y'all the truth. Alabama has one of the best offenses in the country. Not because of the receivers, not because of the running backs, not because of their offensive line, but just because Jalen Milroe. And a lot of people disrespect Jalen Milroe. A lot of people hate on Jalen Milroe. Dude's a good guy. Dude's a great guy, actually. Christian, like the man. And I just believe he is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He's in his junior year. They still have one more year with him, and I just think that's really sick. Now Carson Beck. Let's look into this Carson Beck category. Now you might be saying, "Well, Carson Beck." A lot of people hate on Carson Beck now more than ever. I don't hate on the boy. I think he's overrated. I think he played really bad in Kentucky, so I don't know how it would play in Alabama Stadium if that comes down to it. He played good in big games last year though, so I don't know. People hate on Carson Beck. I don't know his potential yet. I think he's a junior or sophomore, something like that. I think he's a junior redshirt. I think he will be pretty good, but if he is not the best, the most potential he can be, if he's not scoring every drive, out it's not gonna end out too well for Georgia. So if Georgia can keep on scoring with Alabama, then Georgia wins this. But if they can't and they play like they usually do and they just run the ball, do one-dimensional crap, Georgia's gonna lose. I think. Here's my final. Actually, I'm gonna wait till the end of the video to say that. Let's look at the stats and let's just compare Jalen Milroe and Carson Beck. So from what I'm seeing, Jalen Milroe has had 590 passing yards on the season and 8 touchdown passes, and that's just because he's getting out pretty early in the games. You have to say USF. He might not look too great on the passing yardage, but he is insane on completion percentage. So this year, his QBR 76.2, not too bad, not too shabby. His completion percentage is 67.3. That's just because that USF game where they really struggled and he didn't have an offensive line. And both the other games, he threw 70% pass completion percentage and 77.8 pass completion percentage. He went 7-9 versus WKU. And look at Wisconsin. He went 12 of 17, 196 yards, 3 touchdowns. Didn't really need to stay in the game for too long. His rushing stats are insane. He's got 6 rushing touchdowns and 8 passing touchdowns. That's really good. He has 156 rushing yards on 36 carries, 6 touchdowns. He's averaging 2 rushing touchdowns per game, and he's averaging around 2.5 passing touchdowns per game. I don't think that's too bad. Not too shabby to me. Now let's look at Carson Beck. All right, so Carson Beck looks a little bit better on the passing yards. He has less touchdowns. He has a 84.6 QBR. He has 680 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 84.6 QBR, like I already told y'all. And he's a senior. That's on me. I didn't know. So he has to be really good. Hold up, I can't find the season stats. My bad. So he has to be really good to even do anything. But versus he's played 2 okay teams. I mean, Clemson's really good. He did good versus Clemson. 23 of 33, 69.7 pass completion percentage, 278 yards and 2 passing touchdowns, which is good. Tennessee Tech, actually, that is around 20 minutes away from where I live. Tennessee Tech is. That's cool. 48-3. Gosh, they feel like they should have blown out Tennessee Tech by more than that. 18 of 25, 242 yards, 72 completion percentage, and 5 touchdowns. And I know that might look good, but he's playing Tennessee Tech, and they didn't take him out the whole game. And then, here's the stinker. University of Kentucky. 15 of 24, 160 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and he didn't get sacked once. So you can't blame it on his offensive line. He only had 160 yards and 62.5% pass completion percentage. Jalen Milroe ain't had a game like that all year. All year. And that's why I'm talking about him so much. Now let's look at the rushing stats. Okay, Barry White QB rushing stats: 3 carries, 19 yards. Versus Clemson, 3 carries, 18 yards. Versus Tennessee Tech, 5 carries, 18 yards. So not the best. So he's definitely gonna rely on his passing. He's definitely gonna rely on his offensive line a lot more than Jalen Milroe is. And just because of that, Jalen Milroe is an athletic quarterback. He has, I believe 14 touchdowns on the year already. Just talking. So, yeah, I believe that Alabama will win this 24-27 final score. And that's it. Peace out. Love y'all. Peace.